Collecting is an addiction, and like any addiction, can be harmful if one's not careful. There's a delicate balance between quantity and quality, and MightyFan, like any other collector, has to battle the inner demons. Battling these demons can be very difficult, and in the world of collecting, it's that delicate balance that can be very difficult to find, to achieve.
I always say that you know um, you know collecting is collectors are just like addicts. You know um, collecting is basically our drug of choice. Um, there's a lot of similarities if you think about it. I mean, we all have that itch needs to be scratched. You know, um, it's like we need our fix. Need to add that next item, and that's getting our fix. Um, and places like eBay and other sites. I mean, you know, that basically is the match. That's ready to be lit. When you see that sale, that lights it. You know, and then you get that item, and it just you get that sense of you know it's almost like a release type of sense. Like, oh man, okay, I added something, and then it's like almost immediately you're looking for the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing, and you know, I, um, I'm sure there's probably like anything else. If there's, there might be 12-step programs out there or something, but it never goes away. I mean, it's basically that kind of inner demon in you, and once you release it, by starting collecting, it just stays in you, and it doesn't go away. It does not go away. I always kind of um, see it like Banner, you know, with the Incredible Hulk. I mean, how many times he tries to get it out of him, you know, so that he doesn't turn into the Hulk again, but he can't because it's literally something that's part of him. It's within him. It was there by accident, but it's within him, and he can't get rid of it. He can't get rid of that inner monster that comes out when he gets angry or frustrated. And with it's the same thing with addicts. I mean, once you get hooked on something, that monster is in you, and there's no way of getting it out. Um, no matter how many times you get your fix, there's no getting rid of it. It's kind of like Banner trying to do all these different things to come up with all these different kind of ways to get rid of that whatever that gamma radiation that's in him that created the Hulk, but you can't. He can't do it, and it's like that with addicts. I mean, they get fixes but there's that never-ending thirst for it, and it's the same way for us collectors. Once you get that bug, once you start scratching it, there's no way to get rid of it, and you can suppress it. You can get busy with family or life throws different things at you, and you might say, okay, well, all right, I'm gonna calm down. I'm just gonna I'm gonna stop. I did everything I could do. Um, but then there's that next thing that starts. Maybe you get, in our cases, maybe you get away from jerseys, but then some time goes by. Maybe then you get into shoes. Maybe then you get into autographs. Maybe you get into, I don't know, comic books, whatever. You get into something else. And that's what I mean by the itch never goes away. That inner beast, for collecting, it never gets out of your system. Because I've done it. I've gone from one thing to another. It was Mighty Mouse, and now it's jerseys, and it's just it's in me. And it's hard for me to explain it to people who aren't collectors because they don't understand. But the best way that I can explain it is like it's like being an addict. and I mean, it's the best example that I can get. I've never done drugs or anything like that, but everything what I hear and see, and things like that on TV or whatnot, and being collecting it's very, there's a lot of similarities as far as needing that fix, needing that next thing that makes you happy, um, and that's just that's how it is, and if people aren't careful, I mean, it will bring you down financially, because it's an expensive hobby at times. um, there's no getting around that, and you just have to be careful. I try to be as careful as I can be. I mean, thankfully I haven't had any issues financially. Now I own my own house, and obviously a lot more bills to pay, but I'm still scratching that itch. With the collecting, I'm still getting that next item because you know that's just it's within me. It's my inner beast. It's just it's in there, and I can't get it out. It's in there. So yeah, um, that's just that's part of the landscape. I mean, I'm on eBay multiple times a day, seeing what's up there, new stuff that come up during all my different searches, looking around. I go in the groups on Facebook, people are selling stuff. Look online, there's all these new items that come out, and then hoping, oh, when's the next sale, so I can go, go after it, go to the malls, see stuff there. It's like you're constantly surrounded by it, and it's like I said, it's hard to describe to someone who doesn't collect, because they don't really understand. To them it's like, why does this mean so much to them? But they're just not part of this world. You know, it's just like people who aren't addicts of anything. They can't really understand why people who are can't just cut it cold turkey. It doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work that way at all, and it's the same for collectors. I mean, you can try to cut it, but you can't cut it. And people who do, hey, you know what? They've achieved something that very few people can do in the world of collecting, because it's something that's almost like it's a part of you. It's a part of who you are, and it's hard to get rid of something that's a part of you. Again, I hearken to the Banner Hulk analogy with this. He can't get rid of it. It's part of him. He can suppress it only so much, and then something happens. It just brings it out. It's the same thing with us collectors. I mean, you can suppress it. You can have other things that kind of get in your life, and maybe things that take priority. But you cannot get rid of what's in you. And all it takes is that one time where you get something, and then you start going after something else. Maybe something you think that's a little more manageable financially, but the next thing you know, you're surrounded by that. You're in a room full of it, or how many rooms devoted to it and whatnot. I mean, I have a coworker who never collected anything, and he never could understand, my drive, with collecting. He just didn't understand it, and then he started collecting, pop figures, for different things, and then he started understanding it. But he still doesn't quite fully. He's not fully engulfed in it, but he was he's going to multiple different stores looking for one particular figure. And it's like, yeah, that's that sounds a little familiar. Maybe not with me with stores, but certainly websites and different stuff like that, eBay, looking around, and but yeah, it's like I said before. I made a vlog about this before, and it's one of those things. And people who aren't in it, I'm hoping that maybe this series kind of shows them a little bit about what it is to be one, what it is to be a collector. I remember when I was getting this house, and we were moving, before I got this house, before I saw this house, we were in the early stages of trying to figure out, okay, if we're going to get our, the old house on the market, what has to be done in the steps. And my dad was over there, and he was looking room by room, around the house, and he never saw the full scope of my collection. He had no idea. My mom did because she was there, but he never did. He knew I had a rather large collection, but he never knew the full scope of it. And he was looking at, and I have them on the racks and in the closets and all over the place, and he's like going through these things, and his reactions are just, more and more as he sees them all. And I mean, it's just one of those things to me. It's like, I kind of, was taken aback by that a bit, because, you don't really realize it until you see it through someone else's eyes. That, oh my goodness, I have this, very large collection, and, now it's like my dad seeing it for the first time, and he's just, he's just, his eyes are getting bigger and bigger as he's going through the rooms and the closets, and he just couldn't believe there's more, and then it's like, yeah. But, it's something that I take a lot of pride and passion in, and, I know a lot of collectors, they sell stuff. I mean, I'm not really looking to sell a lot of my collection. Maybe some of the older stuff that I have, some like the stuff that don't really fit me that well, maybe the old, champion and starter jerseys, replica jerseys from back in the day, but certainly nothing Mitchell and Ness. That's all staying with me. I'm sorry to people out there, but I'm not in any, I'm not in any hurry to move any of those. But it's interesting to see the reaction of a family member. Seeing the full scale of the collection for the first time, and but. I've been collecting for about 15 years now, so obviously in that time, you're going to amass a lot of things, and that's what it was. That's what it is. Then when I was moving into this house, I started figuring that out too. Oh my God! How many more bins do I have to bring? But yeah, that. And that's the thing is when I was collecting Mighty Mouse, it got to the point where I knew that I've reached, where I wanted to be, with the collection. I was happy with it. And around that time, I went to the Mitchell and Ness store for the first time, and it just, I mean, that, like, right there and then just hit me. It's like, this is what I want to do. I was surrounded by all those jerseys, and I'm like, I mean, these are expensive, so I probably wouldn't be able to get them at full price, but for sales or whatever, find them on eBay, whatever else, and this is what I want to go after, because when I was younger, I was getting the jerseys, and, at the time, the players at the time, the starter and champion replicas and whatnot, but, so it's always been in me, and then when I started collecting the Mitchell and Ness jerseys, I guess it just took over. But from humble beginnings to racks, and closets full, and like I said, that's the other part of it. You don't realize how quickly you can amass something until you're sitting there 10, 15 years later, and it's just. You can basically fill a store with what you have. But it is an addiction. It is. And I know there was once a show called Collector Intervention or something like that. And I was like joking with Big Slim. I'm like, the host of the show, the woman, like blonde woman who went around to people's houses, she was pretty nice looking, but if I ever saw her at my door, I mean, because I know I saw that series, And at the end of every series, I mean, people were selling off part of their collections, and so I knew what would be coming. And now she wanted me to, at one point move on from some of the older replica jerseys. Okay, I mean that, whatever. Okay, but she starts, trying to get the Mitchell and Ness jerseys out of me, away from me. That there's a door over there, and you look really good, but you're gonna have to go. It was a fun show, but I did kind of worry. Is she gonna wind up on my doorstep one day? And with cameras rolling. I mean, someone gonna try something with me? But that never did happen. But I knew what she looked like, so if I saw her, I knew what to try. And okay, well, you just need to, yeah. It is though. It really is an addiction, and it's something that I try to control as best I can, particularly financially. But there's people that just can't. And, it's not just collecting jerseys. We collect whatever they collect. Some people collect cars. And it's just they can't, you're talking about something that costs a whole heck of a lot more than what I buy. And I can only imagine the problems that people have with that. So it's just one of those things that you got to be careful. You really do. So. Yeah. Yeah, I just got a text from Big Slim. So every now and then, see, one of the things that we'll do, like if I have a jersey that's slightly bigger and one that he wants, and he gets one at a good price in my size, then we'll trade. So I'll give him the bigger size, and he gives me my size. Basically a 52, and there was a 94 Tim Brown that he just picked up, Mitchell and Ness Raiders jersey, and he just asked me if I had it, and I said I have it, and he asked what size it was. I think mine's a 52, so he got 52, so we can't really trade there. But sorry, Big Slim, I know. Actually, I got that one from another collector. I got that one from another collector a couple years ago. So, yeah, I mean that's a pretty nice jersey. I got that one. I got the John Elway white 94 as well, the throwback jersey style. And I got the Walter Payton 85, basically the Super Bowl jersey, which is harder and harder to come by. So I'm glad I got when I did. I think it was Ryan. I think I got those three from Ryan. Ryan used to be big in the collecting. He was he was getting a bunch of Mitchell and Ness stuff, and then he kind of scaled it down to Steelers jerseys. And when he did that, he was selling off a lot of his other team jerseys. And at that time, I was able to get those three. And I think I got the older run Earl Campbell from him too, which was the blue one. I now have both. I have the old and new runs, and I have the white away one too. And I got the Saints one, so I'm pretty good with Earl Campbell. But yeah, I mean that's just one of those things. Randomly, I mean every now and then I'll get a text from Big Slim. We're trying to work a deal or something. You have this and this size or whatever, and we've traded a few times. Traded for more my size, and he got more his size. Traded Ken Stabler, Saints, and Dirk Nowitzki, Dallas Mavericks. So sorry, not this time, Big Slim, but maybe at some point. Anyhow, I actually just purchased a jersey. Actually, I got a Dan Marino, Miami Dolphins authentic starter. Really good deal on it. I've seen it before. It's the style that he wore just before he retired. So it's like the newer Dolphin Merino jersey. It's one Mitchell Ness hasn't made yet, but there was one on eBay for about $250 or something like that, and I had it on my watch list for a while, and I like took it off. It's like, yeah, I'm not gonna pay $250 for this, so I took it off, and here we are months later, and someone posted it for 50 best offers, so I made an offer, and they accepted. So so I was able to get basically the same jersey that one guy wanted $250 for much less, and it just works out that way sometimes. That's why I'm always on the lookout. I'm always looking. So every now and then a great deal like that just pops up. You got to take advantage of it, and that's what I did. But so I'll probably be getting that in the mail. That might be the first jersey that comes in 2017, unless it comes in the mail New Year's Eve day. Let's see, today's Wednesday, so it might. Depends on how long it takes for the guy to put it in the mail. Probably put it in the mail tomorrow. I might not see it until early in 2017, but that's okay. That's okay. I'll get it soon. So anyhow, that's a quick little pickup. Once I get it in the mail, you guys will see it. Of course, you know how MightyFan does. So. But yeah, just a little example of what MightyFan does. How he goes through, scours eBay, and every now and then finds a great deal and something wasn't expecting to find. So, anyhow, yeah, it's late. I should get to bed. See y'all.
The MightyFan Beyond the Thread series is basically going to be, my own little personal life documentary about being a collector and what it is and what it entails, all the trials and tribulations thereof. And, the hopes of making this is that it kind of, maybe educates some people who aren't collectors, don't know anything about the life, and what we collectors do go through. Maybe it kind of opens some eyes in some ways. For any who are interested in watching these videos, for my fellow jersey heads, my fellow jersey collectors out there, this is the life that they live too. So it might be kind of a little reflective on their own lives and what they go through. As being collectors of what we collect. In this case, throwback jerseys. But it speaks to any collector, no matter what you collect. This is basically the life that we choose to live, and at times it's it can be very interesting, and I want to try to capture as much of it as I can. It's something that I'm just trying out in 2017. My goal and my hope is that I can stick with it and keep making this series throughout the year and see how it goes. And if I'm happy with it, and if I get people like it, and they positive feedback from it, I'll continue doing it throughout the years, and see where it goes. I've always liked documentaries. I've always been interested in that. When you had the series on TV like MTV, I think, what was it called, True Life, and you had the Hard Knocks series on HBO, of course, the 24/7 for hockey. Any kind of documentary series which just follows a person or people around, and you kind of see their lives, and you kind of partake through TV, or in this case through YouTube, what it is to do what they do. I always thought it was very fascinating. It's something that I tried a little bit some years ago, and I just didn't keep with it. But it's something that I definitely want to. I say a lot. It's definitely something that I want to keep up with now. Like I said in my resolutions video before, this is a channel resolution for me. This is something that I want to want to do, to kind of open up more, to my viewers. I know you guys see me in the putting out these jerseys and showing what I get, and then of course with the Season of the Fan for the Eagles. I think the Season of the Fan series is as close as I got, but even with that, it's basically me, breaking down the game. So, this is more going to be the hope of this is me kind of taking you into my life as a collector, and for you to see what it is. Why do we do what we do? There's a lot of kind of inner psyche with that. There's a lot of inner demons that we have to fight at times, and I hope to capture that. I hope that whoever watches that gets a little bit of a better understanding of what makes these people surround themselves with stuff. I guess that's the best way to put it. I hope people enjoy this series. I'm going to have a lot of fun with this. I don't have the greatest of technology. I mean, I'm just using my iPad, maybe at some point my phone, maybe, the editing software. I don't have the greatest stuff in the world. I basically have freebie stuff, so I'm not really going Hollywood with this. So I hope that whoever watches that understands that. And basically, I'm just going to have fun with it. I hope people enjoy it. And feedback is always will be appreciated. I'll try to answer all the questions that I can in a timely manner and enjoy it. So this is MightyFan Beyond the Thread. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the series.